a whole lot, guys. It's been what, over 2 weeks, I think about 3 weeks now. I've seen you guys last, and I miss you so very much. I miss you all so much. At the point I was like, I'm supposed to resume, I'm supposed to start filming, you know. I think I overtook this break. Right now I'm feeling crusty, but I'm sure I'll get back into the groove because we are here, we are live. Welcome to hellohnclothing. Welcome once again to another beautiful video, and Happy New Year, guys! Happy New Year! See, I've ruffed my hair. God. Happy New Year, guys. I miss you all so much. And yeah, tell me Happy New Year to the comment section below. I miss you all so very much. It's good to be back here. If you've missed me, tell me you've missed me. Don't be shy. Don't wait till you're in closed doors before you can tell me you miss me. Tell me openly. You see, I tell you openly, tell me to openly. I'm rambling again. I've missed rambling to you guys. So let us begin, guys. In this video, we're going to be doing necklines. Yes. Well, hold on. This neckline videos is actually, what I say, more professional. It's not the necklines that, it's not freehand. No, it's not freehand. It's proper pattern drafting necklines, okay? In this necklines, I'm going to be covering neck tightening, contouring, different neck styles, and how to actually achieve them. And I'm going to be using my basic bodice pattern, you know, so the basic bodice pattern that has the shoulder dart and the waist dart. Okay, so if you've not seen that video, you can click the link up here to watch the video, anywhere up here. And then thank you so much for those that have been supporting the channel via channel membership. You guys are amazing. See, if you do not know what this channel membership entails, okay, you can actually watch the video. There's a video, a short video beside the join button. You can watch that video to actually know what the channel membership entails, okay? Yeah, you can also WhatsApp for classes, one-on-one classes. There's a form you fill for me to know what you want, and then we can go on from there. What else? Let me see, is there any other thing I'm missing? I don't think so. I'm just glad to be back and I'm ready to begin. Are you? So if you're ready, get your bodice pattern, the shoulder, the bodice pattern that has the shoulder dart and the waist dart. Even if you don't have that, get your bodice pattern. Let us begin. I have about 10 patterns with me. I did them to my half length. So we are going to actually start with each of the necklines. We're going to start with them, and then we're going to go on to looking at each in detail. Let us begin. The first neckline we're going to be looking at is the strapless neckline. Now for the strapless neckline, we're going to actually be doing our shoulder tightening. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I love my bodice pattern. That's the one that has the shoulder darts in them, because it gives me the privilege of actually fitting it, contouring it, tightening it. So we're going to be doing a neck tightening on this one. So I've seen some questions like, when do I actually know when to do a tightening? You do a tightening when you're cutting up off this upper part of the bodice. So for instance, you have there's nothing attached to the shoulder. Everything begins from the chest. Then you actually need to do a tightening on the shoulder dart. So we're going to be tightening the shoulder dart. How do we tighten the shoulder dart? You can tighten the shoulder dart as much as 100%, 150%, 200%. Okay, so for this strapless, we'll just do 100%. You can even do 150% depending on how busty your client is. So we measure exactly what we have right here, and I have 3 inches dart. This is a 3 inches dart. If you're going to be tightening by 100%, that means that you're going to be doing another 3 inches. So whatever you have, you're doing another of that. So you're adding an addition of 3 inches extra. So that 3 inches, you can decide that you want to split it to 1.5 on both sides. If your dart is a 4-inch dart size, you can split it to 2 inches on both sides. But for me, since it's 3 inches, I also have the privilege of doing 2 inches on this side towards the armhole and 1 inch on this side towards the neckline. Okay, so I'll do that. 2 inches on this side here. Come to this part, 2 inches, and then come here 1 inch. Do the same thing on the right hand side, 1 inch here, and on this side 2 inches. Okay, we then connect this. Just connect to this point, just connect to this point. Do the same here. In this case that we've just tightened, this black shoulder that ceases to exist, so it's like useless automatically, okay, because we have tightened the shoulder. Now once you've tightened the shoulder, let's just put the curve there, right, to just form the princess, the curve connecting this to this. And then once you've done this, connected this to, what we can do next is to determine where you want the strap to start. Is it directly on your chest line, or you want to go a bit above your chest line? I want to go just 1 inch above your chest line. This particular measurement can be taken on yourself or on your client, so you know where is more flattering for you. Do you want it on the chest line, or you want it just above? So I just went up 1 inch above. Let's measure exactly what I have here. So if I measure from here to this point, I have 7 inches, okay? Yeah. So at this point, I can decide to cut this line, cut it up. So that does not exist anymore. And then I can cut up this, right? I can also cut this up, because you know, for strapless bodies, this now becomes like a princess, that's like a bustier going on. So I can just hold this to this, right? Let me use a tip to hold it down. Do the same here. Beautiful. So now we have this. That means that on these bodies, you can decide, oh, you want to leave it this way, or you still want to make it a sweetheart bustier going on. So if you're leaving it just straight, by the time you say, it will just be straight on your body, straight tube cut. If you want to add a bit of sweetheart going on, from this point you can just give it a little, just a little curve. Just introduce that little curve to give it that flattering, that deepness going on there. And then we can just trim off. Let's trim off. Amazing, fantastic. So you either have this, right, having this cut, or you have it straight. So whichever works best for you. This is our sweetheart, these are strapless bodies. The next neckline we're looking at is the color Bateau neckline. I don't know if it's Bateau, more like a boat neckline anyway. A boat neckline. To make your boat neckline, of course, you're going to be closing the shoulder darts, because you do not want any interference Once you close the shoulder dart, you can then transfer it to either your armhole or your waist if you just want a basic waist dart, okay, or even to your bust dart, wherever. So I'm going to be closing. Right, so once you have done that, the next thing you want to do, you can close your pattern into two. Once you close your pattern into two, usually a boat neckline, the width is usually wide and then the depth is usually small. So it's usually in the proportion of like 5 inches wide, 3 inches deep, depending on you. So I'm going to have 5 inches wide and 3 inches deep, or 2 inches deep. Another thing you can do is just measure possibly like 2.5 inches from the tip inwards to know what you have there. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I just rolled. If you don't want it this way, if you feel it's too, you can come into just make it deep a little, yeah. Great, so we can have that, and then we can cut that second and we can trim this off. So this is what the boat neckline will be. This is a very flattering neckline used in a lot of styles to give that pop, that class, that beauty. Yeah, so this is it, boat neckline. The next neckline we're looking at is what we call the Queen Anne neckline, okay? It's a bit similar to the sweetheart neckline in the sense whereby we are going to be doing the partitioning, and then we're going to do the the partitioning basically. So what we'll do first of all is actually to close up the shoulder darts and then transfer it down here to the waist dart or to the armhole, because it's going to be obviously an armhole dart. So beautiful. So now that we have this, the next thing to do is actually fold it into two and then do our partitioning. Okay, so first things first, measure how deep you want the neckline to get to. Like I said, about 8 inches is just perfect. I could even do 7.5 inches, and then draw a horizontal line there just as a guide. Then I'm going to do from the top right down to about 4.5 inches. You could do 4.5, you could do 5, and then draw a horizontal line as well. Great, so now that we have this is 4.5, this is 7.5 inches, okay? Next, we're going to then measure how wide we want it to be at the top and then at the bottom. So for the top here, usually it's about 2.5 inches or 3 inches. I'll use 2.5 here at the top line, this very one at the top. And then for the one at this bottom, we can do 4.5 inches. So it goes from 2.5 to 4.5, and then it can either curve to that part, right? I hope you get the gist. So I'll draw a straight line from here to here, and then when I get here, I could do the sweetheart effect going on. Okay, so this is how our Queen Anne neckline is. So for this part, I will just make it straight. Oh, my table. I can then cut this out. Cut here, then cut here. You don't want to make it too sharp because when you're going to be sewing, you don't want any difficulty in sewing the pieces. Cut here. So once we open it up, this is what we have for the Queen Anne neckline. Of course, this part will be cut off completely as it's going to be our armhole princess in this beautiful Queen Anne neckline. Our Queen Anne neckline is ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at the next neckline, which is our sweetheart neckline. First things first, remember to close your shoulder darts and then transfer it to your armhole, because you're going to be having an armhole princess dart, or if you want the basic waist dart, you transfer it to the waist dart. So let's do that now. Amazing. So now that we've done this, I can just cut this to relax it. Beautiful. Now that it's relaxed, we'll go on to do our partitioning. Fold it into two along the center fold line, and then we want to measure. For the sweetheart neckline, you need to be very careful, because if you make it too deep, you'll be having a neckline that is not relaxing on your body. If you make it too wide, you'll be having a neckline that is still not relaxing on your body. It's going to give issues. So the safest thing you can do is try and make it not too deep. Okay, so I'm going to be using 7.5 inches for this. I'll mark 7.5 inch as the depth here. That's the total depth, and then I'm going to use about 4.5 inches or 5 inches as the first partitioning line. So 4.5 inches, then 7.5 inches, and I'll rule horizontal lines at this point. So here and here. Now that we have the horizontal lines, we can then go on to put the neck width. For this neck width, I'm not going to make it wider than 4 inches. Okay, 4 inches is ideal. That's the first neck width, and then it just goes straight down. For the sweetheart, you don't slant or bend or whatever. You just go it straight down, and then from there you do your curve. So this is a very simple neckline. Okay, so straight down, and now we can do our curve. So you see how I'm using my ruler? Just use your ruler this way, and then you can place this how deep or how structured you want the curve to be. So this is just perfect for me. I then can cut. First of all, just cut this straight. Next, I go here. Finally, remember you don't want it too sharp, so that when you're sewing, you're not having pointiness or something funny going on. Amazing. So this part that is even still too sharp, you can trim more. Beautiful sweetheart neckline. I will just go on to, here is our sweetheart neckline. Okay, so we've done our sweetheart neckline. Let's move over to the next neck design. Okay, so the next neckline we're going to be looking at is the yoke, the one we do when we want to have a yoke. Yeah, so for that we're going to use like the foundation of a strapless bodice. For that we need to tighten, first of all, tighten the lower one, because there's like a foundation of a strapless bodice. And remember the explanation I gave for tightening. Measure whatever that size you have, and then that exact number you have, you're going to use it and share. So it's like ×2 of what you have that you're using. So I'll be putting 2 inches here. What I mean is, when I measured, I'm having 3 inches as my dart size. So I'm going to do an addition of another 3 inches, but I can't just put the whole 3 inches on one side. I need to share it, you know, and then I'm going to be sharing it 2 inches here and 1 inch here. I won't make it proportional, I won't make it equal. So I'll do 2 inches there, 1 inch here, and then same thing, 1 inch here and 2 inches here. Once I've done that, I need to draw the line from here down here and from here to this point. Do the same here, from here down here, from here to this point. You also want to determine where you want the line to get to. That's where the strapless bodice begins from. Okay, so I'll let the strapless bodice just begin on this chest line, okay? But before then, I'm going to measure about 2 inches or 1.5 inches upwards, right, from here. I'm just going to use a pencil to rule a temporary line there. You'll see why I'm doing this in just a minute. Okay, once I've done that, I want to make a sweetheart cut. That's why I'm doing that. I want to make a sweetheart cut. So from here, I just want to curve it to give me like a sweetheart shape that I can still use in the strapless bodice. Okay, still want it to be in the strapless bodice. Yes, so this is what I'll just cut off. I'll cut from here straight. This is the yoke area from here, and then curving it to this point. That's the yoke area. So I can then cut off these other parts, right? Cut on the red line because we've tightened this bodice. Cut on the red line. Do the same here. Great, so we're having this for the strapless bodice, and then this is the yoke. For the yoke area, this is the strapless bodice here. Let me put paper tape to just hold it down. Here and here. Now for the yoke area, I will just close up this original dart, not the tightened one. No, we are going to just close the original dart up. Okay, just close the original dart up. That's the black line. That's what happens in the yoke area. I hope you get the gist. So we have closed it back up. What we can then do is draw the neckline for this yoke. So the neckline could be a basic neckline. Let me just cut this off. So the neckline we'll be using will be a basic neckline. We're going to just do a 3.5 inches deep or 4 inches deep, and then 3.5 inches wide. 4 inches deep, 3.5 inches wide, and it's just a normal what they call this kind of neck, round neck. It's a round neck. Great, so this is what we have, and then I will cut this open. Okay, so this is what we're having. This is the yoke area, and this is the bodice that will be joined together. So I hope you get the gist of this. Moving on to the next neckline, which is the scoop neckline or the U neckline. Usually the scoop of the U neckline is very, very deep. It's deeper than the normal round neck. So here we are going to be doing some contouring. Finally, some contouring. So what we're going to do first of all, like I said, close up the shoulder darts and then transfer it. I'll just transfer them to the waist darts. so now that we have this, I will just fold this back into two, and then we can do the scoop neck. For the scoop neck, it's usually wide, about 4 inches or 4.5 inches. I'll use 4.5 inches, and it's actually deep. So I'm going to also use about 7.5 inches. 4 inches by 7.5 inches. And then we can join it. So it's like a U neck. It's a full-blown U. I'm sure you can see that already. Okay, so obviously this kind of neck will gape because it is deep. It's deep. Once you have necklines that are deep and not properly, how do I explain? It will gape, right? So once you've done this, you can remove like 1/2 inch from this shoulder here, just 1/2 inch from that shoulder to reduce the gaping. And another thing you can do is also do some little tightening here, so you can just snip into this corner, just snip and tighten a bit from here just to this corner, and then just do a little tightening just by like 1/2 inch. See, it's about 1/4 inch I did, say 1/4 inch. What will this do, you may ask? It will help to make that part of the neck that is going to be standing, it's going to help you relax. Okay, so I'll do the same on this other side. Just snip it to this chest line. You will see that corner, go into that corner, snip, and then just place it on itself just about 1/4 inch. It's not up to 1/2 inch. That will help take care of any form of gaping that would have happened there, because obviously this neck will gape. It is deep, it is wide. So great. Now once you place this and you cut, you can see that it's even sitting well on the body. So this is our scoop neck line or U neckline. Let's look at the next neckline, which is the cut neckline or the square neckline. Okay, so for this one, same thing, same, close the shoulder darts, transfer them. Alright, so after closing this, you're going to fold it into two, and then we're going to put the measurements we're going to use. For this cut neck or square neck, it usually is wide, and then sometimes you can make it deep, right? Sometimes, if you make it deep, you need to contour, okay? But if you make it wide as 4 inches and deep as maybe 3 inches, you are fine. Deep as 4 inches, you are fine. If you do 4 by 4, 4 by 3, you are fine. 4.5 by 3, you are fine. 4.5 by 4, you're fine. But anything from 5, and then you're going as deep as maybe 5 or 4, then you need to contour. So let me do like 5 here. That's 5 inches wide, and then let's say 5 inches deep, 5 by 5. Okay, so I'll rule the horizontal line, and then also rule the vertical line. Already you can see that the corner is actually so deep here. See the corner, it's eating deep. First of all, cut the square, but make sure you do not cut it sharp. Curve it there, and then continue cutting the square. Once you've done that, you also want to, this is where this part will be. You want to cut off like half of it, right? So this is okay. If you need to contour just a little bit by this corner, snip by that corner, and then just place it just by maybe 1/4 inch to take care of anything that may form like a gaping at that corner, just a little. You can see how it moved. Can you see the movement it did? It moved inward. So I'll do the same thing here, just snip it a bit. If you ever put it on your mannequin, you will see what that has corrected for you, and then pin it to there. Okay, I've moved it and I'm pinned. I said pin, paste, that's hold it together with your paper tape. So once you do that now, you check, you can see that it actually has corrected itself. Please, for this cut neckline, you can still go deep if you want to, right? You can go deep if you want to, but this is what we are having. So the contours usually are at the corners to just make it lie flatter on the body without gaping and poking up. Okay guys, so we've come to the end of this tutorial. Let me know if this is much helpful than the previous one that I've done before. That neckline video is actually a year ago. That neckline was like freehand neckline. This one has all the effigy inside it. Let me know which is more helpful, which is more relatable. I'd love to know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you can see that there's a little revamping going on. I'm trying to do some things just to make the place look sweet, look beautiful. I installed lightings. I've done some things just to touch up this whole space, okay? And if you want a studio tour, not like a studio tour, or if you want to see me when I'm going to be decorating this place, please let me know in the comment section below as well, so that for those of us on here that have channels, you can get 1 or 2 ideas as to how to set up your own small filming space. I think I said a lot already. Thank you so much for watching, guys. So we'll see you in the next tutorial. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to give me a huge thumbs up. Comment below as always. Ask about classes. Register for classes. Not even just ask, register for classes. What else? Thank you for supporting the channel through channel membership. Super grateful. So we'll see you in the next tutorial. Stay safe. God bless you all.